He was not necessarily in any weaker of a position. It was not necessarily. Given his age and conditions, it's not necessarily ownership.
Warfield between the left and the right. And number 5 is the Dialectics of Enlightenment. It's a classic work by Adorno, critical theorist of the Frankfurt School. Number 6 is the most famous work by Herbert Marcuse, another famous critical theorist. Was a professor here at UCSD, One-Dimensional Man.
My name is Charles. I've been working at Groundwork since 2004, actually working at Groundwork. I've known about Groundwork since I think probably the 1970s sometime.
Groundworks is a cooperative leftist bookstore run by the students, for the students.
Actually, I shouldn't mention it. Groundwork actually predates the co-ops. Yeah, I don't know the precise history of it myself, but Groundwork started in 1974. The co-ops didn't come into existence until 1980, from my understanding. But when the co-ops did come into existence, the groundworkers at the time thought, "What a good idea!" And so we'll join up with them. And so Groundwork has been part of the co-ops ever since.
A student co-op is very different from any other organizational structure that I've ever seen. You really get like what you put into it, and everyone's doing it out of their free will and like out of pure love for the space and commitment to what Groundworks is about. And you don't really see that in a lot of other organizations.
Basically, what distinguishes the co-ops from any other student organization is that we're sort of dedicated to the principle that any member, even the one who arrived this morning, has equal standing to even the most senior of our members. It has equal legitimacy to voice their concerns to the whole group. This can be difficult because people don't have necessarily the confidence or the courage to speak up, before somebody who has been here for years or has more experience. But it's crucial to our organizations that we just dismantle that culture of fear and that we be completely open with each other. And that goes for us as much as it goes for the Che Cafe or the G Store or the food co-op. Union stuff, shape of water, Secret Santa questions, new stock, and schedule for winter.
Oh, yeah.
Who wrote that?
I know, but I would have.
We're doing important stuff first, because Tiffany's here, right?
Yep. Especially because, so what's important stuff? So, important stuff is schedule for winter, obviously. New stock, I think.
Like stuff that's like mutually beneficial, because when the revolution comes, that's what we need to do. So is anybody else like interested in this, or?
Be interested in teaching a little programming, maybe.
The programming.
I'm super interested right now, or I don't know. Could go any direction we wanted to.
I mean, depending on if people are interested in like other practical skills, we could maybe, if we know people outside who we think would be somewhat comradely, we could have them maybe explain things to us. I know if anyone's interested in shooting.
We sort of really emphasize like community, that kind of thing. And we also have, I think, sort of a more specialized section, obviously, than the actual campus bookstore.
Well, we used to sell a lot of textbooks, a lot more than we do now. We're trying to get back into that now. It's a way to make a living. Our sales are not the best in the world often, and so it's good to be able to expand it with some other things.
So, selling books is actually a really minor part of what we do, since people don't really buy books that often. But we usually have a lot of meetings for different orgs. We have a political reading group. We open up the space for people who want to organize. We have the space open usually after protests for people to decompress, things like that.
Apart from being, the bookstore itself as an organization, we're the focal point of the Books for Prisoners program on campus, which disseminates used books to people in prison. We do our best to provide them with what they need. They send us letters and we disseminate them to the books to them as well as we can.
This book can sell on Amazon. Does it get it on Amazon? Yeah, you just type it. Parts of our general stock, can you believe it? I wonder what politics of our.
No, I kind of knew vaguely that this was Groundwork's path. It was like 1990s weird, like pseudo counterculture path.
CIA! The vaccines!
We have faculty. Cultural.
Yeah, Freud is.
If you just sort of hang out here, you kind of get sucked into as far osmosis, I guess. We have GBMs on Tuesdays, 4 or 5, yeah. So if you swing by then, but really, I mean, we're always kind of here, and we're always kind of happy to talk. I think that when you hear leftist bookstore, you sort of think like, oh, that won't be like a welcoming place, like there won't be really any room for dissent or anything. But really, we're always happy to have discussions with anyone who is respectful. Yeah, so we're happy to serve a non-leftist community as well.
I don't think we're necessarily a space of flaming radicals looking to burn up the world. At least not that I know of anyway.
I think people should know that when we say it's open as a social space and as a space to come and hang out, we do mean that. You can come here, you can take a nap, you can heat up your food here, you can do like pretty much whatever since it is like a community space.
There aren't really many, I guess, radical bookstores around the left. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic that there's one right on campus, and I think it's very important for people to be exposed to ideas that they might not normally come across. So I like to think that we can kind of be a beacon for that, sort of harbor that sentiment.
So Groundworks to me is essentially home these past couple of years. It's where I've developed a political consciousness for the first time, really matured as a person for the first time, and met all the people in my life who are important to me, and just where I spend all of my time, basically.
There's some little things here and there, but other than that, I think the spirit of the collective is really good, and that's what you need at the end of the day.